Mr. Steve Schultz.
For the last 15 years that I've been a teacher, I've kept this in my wallet. I don't know if you can see what this is. Those old cursive papers with the pink and the blue lines on them, you have to write. And I was terrible at cursive. And so my 5th grade teacher at Gisler, Mrs. Benson, she made me stay after school and practice cursive with her. And I remember the dread every time she gave me one of these sheets of paper. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I still have a bump on my finger from that pencil. And I was wondering, why is she picking on me? What did I do wrong? And I lived right across the street, Ellis Park. I used to walk right across this church every day to Gisler. And I started to dread it a little bit. And then a few months into the school year, the hero of my life, my grandfather, died. I saw him every day, morning and after school. I love this man. And I remember coming to school and I would cry sometimes in class and didn't know how to stop. And then I felt the reassurance of the hug from my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Benson. And every day when I entered class, she would give me a hug. And I remember those hugs because as a 10-year-old boy, my soul was shattered. But the love of my teacher put me back together again, because the only person in my life at that time who was ever physically affectionate was my grandfather. My family wasn't affectionate. I remember those hugs because it was the only time I got hugged that year. And I started looking forward to walking past this church every day because I knew I was going to get my hug from a teacher who loved me. And that allowed me to persist. And then at the end of the year, Ms. Benson said, I'm moving classrooms. Would you help me move classrooms? And so my first day of summer, going into 6th grade, I walked back here again and helped Mrs. Benson move from her old room to her new room. And we would stay in contact. I got to write an article about her at FVSD magazine. I wanted everyone to know how great she is and was. And then to my surprise, when she retired, she asked me to come back and speak. I remember saying, Mrs. Benson, I was in this room with you on your first day in this room, and I'm honored to be here on your last day in this room. And the love would continue, though, because I was teaching, and I was in the hospital for 3 days, some kind of intestinal thing. My first day back at Fountain Valley High School, and I get a call to come up to the office, you have a visitor. What? And I come up, and there was my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Benson, with a crock pot full of soup for me. I didn't know how she knew I was in the hospital or I was the first day back, but I never forgot that. And on my wall in my classroom was a picture of her and I in her retirement and a framed Benson buck. I don't know if you guys know what Benson bucks are.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I've been trying for the last 15 years to make as many people and as many students as possible to have Benson bucks, to feel their love, that someone's going to hug them when they're shattered, that they're going to create an environment where they look forward to walking to school. Because they know when they get there, they're going to be loved. And what I've learned as a teacher is that students will love learning when they learn they're loved by their teacher. That's the most important thing we can do every day. Even the ones that annoy us, even the ones that make it known they don't like us, we have one job to love them first, and to love them again and again and again when they don't love us back. And the only reason I know that is because I was a student in the Fountain Valley School District. And my teachers taught me how it feels to be loved. You know, last year when I was my first meeting as a school board president, who was in the audience? Susie Crandall, my 4th grade teacher, and Marion Benson, my 5th grade teacher. They're still teaching me. That's why I try to give them so much out these past 4 years. People would ask me, why are you on the school board? You get paid? I said, no, I actually lose money being here. Why do you do it? Why try and help all these employees? Because every time I look at any one of you, I see Marion Benson. And I want to give those hugs back. And so as I say to my class, every day before the bell rings, I love you all, big, giant, much. Have a great year, because the love you give today, there is someone who's not born yet, But someone in your classroom that you're going to love is going to go love them. And that's immortality. And everyone in this room, you have the chance every day to be immortal at the love you give. Thank you so much for what you do.